Okay, I'm back. I just met the neighbor, Max, who lives just around the corner. Real nice guy. He said stop in any time, and he has a shop. He says if you need anything, just stop by. But I'm back up now to the west property line here behind my truck, and I'm going to walk in just a little bit in here and see if I can hold the camera halfway still and get back in there. It's pretty thick. It's pretty shadowy, but we'll see what I can do. A lot of the trees are just really small and spindly from being so thick. So it wouldn't be bad at all to clear some out and do some thinning over the years. But that's something a person would do typically when you're down here, not when you come down for a couple days. Now I'm thinking about, just for a reference, I'm going to spin around and there's my truck back at the road. I would like to do is come in, and you can see back in there, if you can see back in there, that it's fairly level. And that's what's nice about this lot. It's got a hill to the east that breaks over and gets pretty sharp slope to it. But coming back in here quite a ways, it's nice and level. And there are a few kind of clearings. And I'm going to spin around again. And you can just see my truck through there. Remember, my property line is just right about at the back of the truck. So I'd certainly want to come over to the east a bit further, though kind of the way I'm walking now to the east and southeast. Get away from that west property line. I did notice on the west there's a gully over there, which would keep any neighbors from building really close to the property line, even beyond the setback. And here's a bit of a clearing in here. And you can see aren't many trees of any size that would have to come out. And just basically build a house on the ground here, ground level, earth house, and pile dirt up behind it on the street side and on top of it to make an earth home. And it would face the south, which is the way I'm pointing the camera right now, to catch that winter sun. And if you listen, you don't hear anything except perhaps my stomach growling, because I haven't had anything to eat all day. I got up and came down here at 5, and it's about 3:30 now. Hear the leaves falling. Gotta watch out for the copperheads. I think they're pretty calm by now, I would imagine. And now I'm kind of walking pretty much straight west. The road is to my right. And I can see the white of my truck through the trees. I don't know if it will show up on the camera or not. But to build somewhere back in here, I don't know, maybe you can see how the land starts to break over there. It starts to go downhill. But when you keep going straight south, it's just a gentle slope. If you go over to the west, that's where the road starts to slope down, and of course the terrain follows that. I'm thinking here that there are a few nice pine trees, nicer pine trees. I know I'm way too close to get this, but here we go. A few nicer pine trees right back here. It'd be kind of fun to bring a lane in through this area here and put a curve to it or some angles to it, or different angles, so that it's not a straight shot, so as people drove by on the road they couldn't look in and see the property. I was talking to Max, the neighbor to the north. He said the best thing he ever did moving down here. He's retired. He said, just come on down. He said, you won't be sorry. Now I'm going to head back towards the street here. Well, I didn't go as far to the west as I thought. I thought I was walking a little bit further west, but I wasn't. I'll walk a little more to the west right now. I thought there was a sinkhole somewhere on this property, but I haven't been able to find it. Last time I was down here, I remember a sinkhole. I thought for sure it was on one of my 2 lots. I remember thinking that it was a big enough sinkhole, a person could cut a lot of brush and branches and pile in that sinkhole and cover with a couple feet of dirt and get rid of it. But in my travels today, I have not found a sinkhole. Well, here we are, back towards the road. See, here are a few more nice pine trees right here. And I was just thinking about trying to bring a lane in here and just bend it back through the pine trees and back towards that little bit of a clearing that there was. And leave all the nice pine trees, thin out some of this other stuff. The soil is extremely rocky. You can't believe all the rocks in the soil. There are places you walk in the woods and it's nothing but rock rubble, just naturally, just rocks coming out of the soil. And of course the rocks come up with what little bit of frost they have, and the dirt gets washed away and you're left with the rocks. But there we are. That's it. My 660 squared. And up here at this level area, you can see, get there again how it breaks down the hill, follows the road. But up here where it's nice and level, remember, it goes down to just behind my truck. Right here, a person wouldn't even need a culvert for a driveway. Just some rock, the water would flow, what little bit of water would be flowing would be going both directions. And let the water flow right through the rock. Wouldn't even need a culvert, couldn't get much simpler. Nice little evergreen volunteering there. But that's it. I thought there'd be more fall color, more of the reds and yellows, but there aren't. Kind of more muted, but it's still very nice. I'll just walk back here, and I hope this isn't too shaky. I'm walking on rock and trying to hold the camera still. But that's it. I think I'm going to shut it off now. I'm going to jump in my truck and turn the camera back on and just see if I can film it as I drive out.